Hiyo! Name's Geela, but I also respond to Jella. Welcome back. This was definitely a busy month for me, but I'm glad I was able to hit all of my main goals. I've been working on those animatics on and off for a while now because procrastination and getting distracted. But I also wanted to do an extra video this month before things got even busier now that I've started a new semester in this graduate program where I'm doing a master's thesis and practicum and looking for more work, busier schedule. I still plan on doing that true crime sort of video on the 1st of September, and I might be doing another video sometime in the middle of semester of another small little animatic that makes me giggle. Oh, and once again, mic stand refuses to be found, so it will continue to be hidden somewhere within this house. I didn't want to do anything too difficult or heavy-handed, so I was brainstorming on what to do for today, and I remembered that I wanted to draw an Alolan form of PARAS for a while now, since Sun and Moon came out, which admittedly was my last Pokemon game that I've played, because Sword and Shield didn't really speak to me. I'm not sure if I'm going to get Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. I'm still on the fence on that, so if you guys can convince me to get it, maybe, but that's like $60. I don't know if I can handle that right now. I was really sad when my favorite Pokemon didn't get an Alolan form, and yes, Paris isn't the fan favorite among the Pokemon community, but I had hope. There were rumors at the time that there was going to be an Alolan Parasect. Well, I knew that you can trust all rumors and leaks. When you're excited for something, you're excited. Especially since some of the rumors and leaks do end up being true. I remember seeing the regular Paris in the game, and I was just so sad. I was just like, goodness gracious, of all the places that you can find Paris, you can also find Morelull, the mushroom other Pokemon. Like, what is this? Route 11, Brooklet Hill, and the lush jungle. Like, why can't you be a different form of your mushrooms, Paris? I love you so much, and you deserve more. I know, I'm going on like a whole little rant. But like, the setup just makes itself. How can I not just like think about it? And I know I'm not the only one who thinks regional forms for Paris is cool, or at least like to be thought about, because a quick Google search does show that there are some other individuals who takes a jab at drawing an Alolan Paris. I'll put some links in the description of their versions, though one does look pretty similar to mine since, it's a very straightforward design and, it's not brain science. I literally took inspiration from Morelull. Oh my gosh, that name. From Morelull. The color scheme that I chose is Morelull's color scheme to show that, Paris is connected to this Pokemon and its mushrooms. As for the mushrooms on Paris's back, I did choose to do more than just 2 mushrooms because I wanted it to look more busy, especially since Morelull in general has 3 mushrooms in its character design. I also added bumps where more mushrooms could grow from if the main ones were picked off. I did this for 2 reasons: to show that these mushrooms are constantly growing in their parasitic manner, and 2, Morelull has those sort of like bumpy little things on its head where the mushrooms are growing. And as for the green parts, I naturally put the tips of the legs to be green, just like the sprout legs of Morelull, and I added some cheeks to mimic Morelull also. As for Paris's teethies, or mandibles, I didn't want to keep it white because it just blended way too much into the rest of the body, so I just used the green accent color to keep it consistent with the color scheme. Now, onto the shiny. Naturally, I used Morelull's shiny as... Oh my goodness, Morelull's name messes me up. But anyways, I used Morelull's shiny as a base for the mushroom. But I did make the body of Paris a slightly darker shade and a bit more yellow to mimic the original form's shiny, which is, basically non-existent. Shiny regular Paris is just a slightly darker shade of scarlet. It's so uninspiring! So the Alolan form is just a slightly darker shade of cream to match the warm tones of the mushrooms, I know, just gotta keep it to brand. And as you can see, I did try to copy the Pokemon art style of, the easily noticeable outline with some simple gradient shadings. I hope I did a good job on it. I think I did for the most part. It seems pretty recognizable, but you guys can tell me about that. But now, I finished him and he's so adorable and I just want one to cuddle. Give me an Alolan Paris, or at least just like some other form, some other regional Paris, because I just want Paris to get some more love. Is that so hard to ask? Now for the Pokédex. I wanted a bug fairy type. Yes, I know you're there, cutie fly. I see you, but let Paras have the spotlight here. Since Morelull is a fairy line. And yes, I do know that the rumors had it that Parasect, the Alolan form of Parasect, was like a bug ghost type, which I guess makes sense since, Parasect is basically a zombie, but I want fairy type. Like, I don't like fairy types, but if it's Paras, I will like fairy types. The Pokédex number is 147, since the Paras number in the Alolan Pokédex is 147. As for abilities, I wanted to keep its base abilities because 1, I couldn't think of anything else, and 2, it still made sense. As for the hidden ability, I did change that to Rain Dish, like Morelull's hidden ability, to show where the inspiration came from, and for the fact that I just like this ability way better than Damp. Like, HP when it's raining versus self-explosion damage, like, I know that some people can make good use of Damp, but Effect Spore is just universally more appreciated, just in general, for Paras. So, at least Rain Dish could give more variability and viability for Paras, if it were to be an actual creation. I also made this Alolan form a bit bigger and heavier than the regular Paras due to having more mushrooms. And I shifted the stats around so that this Alolan Paras is actually more of a special attacker. This means that it gets more special attack moves in its move pool, like Dazzling Gleam and Draining Kiss. And can you imagine getting a kiss from this little guy? Also, slightly upped the defense and slowed the speed by 5, simply because, again, those mushrooms are kind of like an extra armor, and slows the bud down a bit. And lastly, a read on the Pokédex biology that I sort of made. In the Alola region, Paras has been infected by a local mushroom species that looks like the Alolan Pokemon Morelull. These mushrooms, however, are parasitic and continue to grow on Paras's back to steal nutrients from said host. Interestingly, the mushrooms also glow lightly in the dark and can be used for medicinal purposes by humans, such as alleviating insomnia. They can be found in dark, damp areas, usually where Morelull are, scavenging for food. Now, that's about everything regarding my ideas for an Alolan Paras. The title has a question mark in it because I'm not sure if I'll ever do an Alolan Parasect, since I'm not as inspired. After all, I love Paras, not Parasect, and I feel so bad on ever evolving a Paras into such a cruel fate. Also, there's a possibility that I could make more regional variants of Paras based off of other mushroom Pokemon or just off of other types of mushrooms in general. If you guys want, you guys can comment your ideas down below. This is the first time that I want to say it, so it's a bit awkward, but I'd really appreciate it if you guys subscribe. Anyway, stay safe, annyeong, adios, bye!